Welcome back to Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra. Gotenks is the second character for Season 1 and the only technical type they're adding this season. As a big Gotenks fan, I was excited to try him out today, but I did find their choice of Gotenks to be a bit curious at the very least. Because usually, Dragon Ball games choose Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks over regular Super Saiyan, but not Squadra. This Gotenks starts in base form and powers up to Super Saiyan. I wonder if that has anything to do with some potential future character plans, but either way, this is the second character out of 3, which means now that we have 2 DLC releases, we can start to guess what their release schedule looks like, and if they take another 3 weeks, then Topo is coming out on November 5th. We'll see if that's the case next month, because that would put it right before our big anime game tournament this year, Ultimate Burst, happening on November 15 and 16. We got tournaments for Demon Slayer 2, Bleach Rebirth of Souls, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, each one with a $500 prize pool, so whether you're playing or watching, I'll hope to see you on stream November 15 and 16. Sign-ups are in the link down below. Now, I just got done playing Gotenks for about 4 hours straight, and I'll leave my thoughts here early in the video. I don't think he's very good. I think the character is fun, but there are some questionable design decisions, and he certainly does not feel very powerful in Squadra right now. If you're looking to win in this game, I think you can skip this DLC, at least until he gets some buffs. And I mean, today is actually a perfect example of how a weak character does not have to stay weak forever. But if you want to get this character purely because you are a Gotenks fan, I think his kit has a lot of fun stuff, but some weird choices as well. Let's start by breaking down the character so you can better understand what I'm talking about. Like I mentioned earlier, Gotenks starts in his base form, and at level 7 he transforms into Super Saiyan, increasing his basic HP and damage. It's a standard transformation. His rush attacks are standard Ki Blasts, but they deal bonus damage if the opponent has a debuff. And yes, Gotenks does have an easy way to apply debuffs to his enemies, so you can get this damage bonus very often. He also has a passive called Exaltation, which applies a movement speed buff to him and nearby allies after he gets a kill or an assist. You move incredibly fast for about half a second, so it's incredible for getting a second kill or for running away after you get your finishing touch. Nothing too crazy so far, pretty basic range damage dealer kit with a passive that lets him reposition or chase easily. Let's talk about his skills. First up, we have the Hyper Ultra Super Combo. Gotenks will teleport to the enemy location, doing a combo on your target and then teleporting back to his initial spot. The last hit of this combo stuns your opponent, so it's the most important hit you should land. While you're doing the combo, you gain strike defense up, so if the enemy is trying to box against you, you'll probably tank through their stuff, but only if it's against melee attacks. And if another enemy happens to be nearby, they will also take damage from this skill, and yes, they will also get stunned. This skill is very easy to use. The teleport is instant, so you just point, click, and the combo kinda happens on its own. But I have some problems with this ability. First of all, Gotenks always teleports back, which is not very good in every situation. Yes, the teleport does help you play safer. You are a technical type, so you can die pretty quickly, but remember that you only stun the opponent on the last hit, right before you teleport back to your starting position, meaning that if you're trying to chase a kill, it can actually leave you too far to finish your opponent off. That means very often you'll have to rely on your teammates, and I guess that's what technical characters are designed for to begin with, but in many situations, I didn't need a teammate to get that kill, bro. He's so close. Another issue I have with this skill is that the combo is pretty long, which gives the opponent enough time to simply vanish away before getting stunned. I'll just poke with ghosts. I'm not gonna get closer. Maybe now I will. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't stun him. Wait. Oh, he got out. He can. They can teleport out of the final hit of the stun. That's annoying. Leveling up the ability makes the combo even longer, which sure, it's good for damage, but also makes the stun even easier to avoid. And on top of that, Gotenks can also get stunned by enemy abilities while he is doing the combo, so you can't always rely on teleporting back to keep you safe. You have to be mindful of the matchup. And that makes skill 1 an ability that's easy to use but has some big flaws. The biggest one being that Vanish completely counters it. Now, to be fair, Vanish does counter most skills in this game. The problem with this one is that it gives you a lot of time to react. And because Gotenks teleports back to where he started, this completely kills off any chances of chasing down the opponent if you're coming from behind. It's also the most uninspired move in his whole kit in my opinion, especially since this is Gotenks. He's got a ton of flashy signature moves, and skill 1 is just teleport into melee combo. I'm a bit sad they didn't get a bit more creative with this one, honestly. But luckily, they did get creative with the next set of skills. Skill 2 is Galactic Donut. Gotenks throws an energy donut at a set position that will draw enemies and NPC characters to to the center after a delay. It also deals damage, but the repositioning of the enemy is kind of the main thing here. And this is just begging to be comboed with some other skills from a teammate. So you'll have a lot of fun trying out different combos. It will shine in a team fight, especially if you have teammates in voice chat, but if not, it can be a bit hard to coordinate. Now, this skill has a very long startup, meaning you have to anticipate your enemy's movement and use them to cut them off before they even start running away. The enemy also sees a big circle on the ground as you're about to throw it, which gives them plenty of time to move out of the way, and even if they're late in moving away, whew, you can totally vanish out of the circle, by the way. If you have the vanish, you can totally vanish out of the circle. Yeah, you can also just vanish out of this one, even if the donut is placed. Doing that might leave you vulnerable, though, since you spent your vanish on the donut, and that leaves you open to the stun on skill 1. So in a way, skill 2 kind of makes skill 1 more useful. Leveling it up increases its size, which obviously makes it tougher to dodge, but the long startup means you always gotta pre-cook it. I do love the creativity on this one. It's a very unique skill, there's nothing like it in Squadra right now, and it fits the donut super well. It's so easy to understand what it does visually before you even read what its effects are. Super loyal to what the skill is in the show, creatively, this was an inspired choice of a skill. It could even be considered this character's signature move if it wasn't for skill number 3. Let's talk about the Super Ghosts. This skill lets you summon the ghosts in 3 different ways. You can target the enemy and the ghosts will follow them forever until they hit them and explode. They will not stop tracking the enemy, but they might explode if they hit a wall before that. You can also target an ally or yourself with a ghost and they will simply follow you around until you are close to an enemy, at which point they'll start chasing them too. And finally, you can also put them on the ground and they'll remain there until an enemy gets close enough, at which point, again, you guessed it, they will chase and explode. The ghosts will not automatically chase NPCs or bosses, only enemy players. But you can still damage NPCs with the ghosts if you shoot them straight at them. Also, whenever the ghosts hit someone, they apply a movement speed debuff. This is the easiest debuff that Gotenks can apply. Remember, his basic attacks deal more damage to enemies with the debuff, so this is an easy way to get that damage bonus consistently. Especially because this ability has a low cooldown and can be used twice in a row, so you'll always have multiple ghosts for each fight. Leveling up the skill increases the number of ghosts. You start with only 2, but you can level up to 5 ghosts. And since you can use the ability twice, that means you can have an army of 10 ghosts following you around. Come, my children, we must jungle! They're actually garbage for jungle, they don't do anything. Also, they don't seem to have a maximum duration, so if you just want to leave them on a lane guarding something, you can. If you see a teammate is protecting the god solo, you can give them some ghosts to help. The only limitation seems to be the number of ghosts on stage. You can't summon them more than twice, so 10 on stage is the maximum number at max level. And yeah, this is probably his best ability. It's the one that deals the most damage, it has the best utility for teammates by helping them with damage and slowing down opponents. But just like the other skills, this one also has a big weakness, which is the ghosts can be hit by enemy abilities. This makes it so some characters are really tough to play against as Gotenks. I can't tell you how many ghosts have been deleted by some random beams. If the opponent has some reliable way to hit your ghost from afar, it's gonna make it super hard for you to play. Also, it makes Gotenks pretty bad in a team fight. Boom, super ghost kamikaze attack, more ghosts. Oh no, he's just destroying all my ghosts! No! I hate AoE now. I hate every AoE in this game. A lot of these AoE attacks just happen randomly in team fights, because that's what you're supposed to do. You shoot the AoE attacks at the enemies, but those AoE end up deleting your ghosts along the way too. And without ghosts, your contribution to a team fight feels fairly limited. Donuts can help for sure, but those have a long cooldown, not to mention being easy to dodge. Still, creatively, this ability is once again peak. 2 back-to-back abilities that are so unique and creative, and they are the big reason why I think Gotenks is a lot of fun to play, even if I don't think he's very good right now. But that's not the end of the character, we still got the ultimate. Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. You select a spot, and Gotenks sends ghosts from the sky, exploding on landing for a while, until the final ghost hits, which applies a big debuff on the opponent, disabling their skills and attacks. Basically, they become a headless chicken running around. This ultimate has very good tracking. The ghosts don't simply fall in place, they actually move around, but they're not very quick, so any movement ability or simply being in sprint speed will easily outrun this ultimate, which is why it can be a good idea to throw your other ghosts first, applying that movement debuff to guarantee these actually land. And I actually don't have any major bad things to say about this ultimate. It feels very good to use, but I do have to question, why are we using ghosts again? The number of ghosts that falls on the enemy is ridiculous, by the way. I don't think Gotenks has ever summoned that many many. So conceptually, it is weird to me that they went for ghosts again, even though they already had a ghost skill. I don't know, maybe a Die Missile Barrage would be a better fit here conceptually, but I can't lie, the ultimate does feel very good to use. And that's Gotenks. Now that you understand his skills, maybe you'll understand my full thoughts on him. He feels like a character stuck halfway between a damage dealer and a technical character, and ends up being lackluster at both roles. He's not good enough at enabling his teammates at doing well, nor is he good enough at carrying the team to victory. He can have a solid hit and run playstyle by sending out the ghosts from a distance. They are a wonderful opener because they are a good damage poke and they have basically infinite range if the opponent runs away. Also, they apply the movement speed debuff, so you can decide on the fly if you want to chase the opponent or run away from their slowed ass. That said, if you choose to chase, you'll need to outplay their vanish every time because it can avoid both of your chasing abilities, but that does make this character really good at fighting 1v1s and chasing down opponents. It's very hard to escape a good Gotenks. At the same time, I think he sucks at team fights because the ghosts constantly get deleted by every big attack being thrown, and once the ghosts are gone, he doesn't offer a lot of support. The donuts can be good, but they have a long cooldown and they're very easy to escape. He's also not great at farming experience from NPCs or stealing bosses. He lacks the burst damage to do so, and all of this makes him a bit too situational in my opinion. Yes, he can be strong in the right scenario, but I think more often than not, he's not the right choice for a technical character if you are looking for victory. At least until he gets buffed. And conceptually, I can't help but to be a bit disappointed too. A character like Gotenks has many signature moves, so why are 2 of them based around ghosts? And why is skill 1 so basic? Where's Volleyball, Mouth Beam, Rolling Thunder Punch, Miracle Super Punch, Rolling Kick? So many to pick from with huge creative potential. Some of these are skills that he only did once he hit Super Saiyan 3, so again, maybe they're saving it for a future character. But even that feels like an odd choice. Think of how many Dragon Ball characters they could add before having to add a repeat Gotenks. Repeating Goku's is one thing, he's the protagonist, so there are already multiple of him in the game. But a second Gotenks probably won't be happening anytime soon. That said, I think the creativity on Donuts and Ghosts is inspired, and I did have fun playing the character, even with all its faults. When a character adds abilities that are this unique and this different from everything else that already exists in the game, to me, that's a good DLC. The balance can always come later. This character can always be viable in the future. What's important is how unique the character is, because that basic kit is what you're gonna have to work with forever. With that said, don't forget to sign up to Ultimate Burst, the link is down below, and that's my opinion on Gotenks. But as always, I would love to hear what you think. Whether you agree with this take or not, let me know in the comments down below. And for more anime games, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching. Bye.